Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, peace be upon you. This is Mohamed Shedou in a new video on my channel. In this video I would like to share my own thoughts on a very common question about the religions and the spirituality and God. The question is, why does God allow evil to take place in this world? We see a lot of calamities, children being killed, children being deprived of food, of basic human necessities. We see wars happen in the world. We see pandemics happen. We see a lot of evil in the world. And a common question for people who are doubtful about the existence of God, why does God allow all this to happen in the world? Why doesn't God prevent evil from happening? Why doesn't God prevent wars from happening? Really, a lot of problems happening. And I would like to share some of my own thoughts on this difficult topic. And before I start, I'm gonna talk about 3 points, but this is a very deep topic, and we can't cover it from all angles. So what I'm gonna cover are 3 things that can explain why evil happens and why God exists and lets it happen. But this doesn't answer all the questions. I know there are deeper levels to this, so I'm not gonna cover the whole truth, but I'm just gonna cover some ways that we can maybe explain and understand the existence of evil in the world. The first thing is we understand that human beings have free will. God gave us free will in this world. And if we think of the question, why does God allow evil to happen? If you really think about it, you cannot have both free will and total peace in the world. If God lets people do what they want based on their free will, calamities will happen, evil will happen, wars and even poverty and a lot of problems are actually man-made. They are caused by our greed, our lack of consideration for other people. A lot of people really don't care about others. If I want something for myself, it doesn't matter how many people I hurt on the way. A lot of people have this mentality, and really, if we look at the world's problems, most of them, not 100% of them, but most of them are a result of human greed, human carelessness. For example, if we start by wars, that's a few millions of people died of wars. In the 20th century alone, we had World War I, World War II, we had the Holocaust, we had genocides in different places of the world. So all these wars that resulted in tens of millions of death and destruction in all over the world, they are caused by humans, by human free will. And even if we look at poverty in the world, we know, for example, maybe more than a billion or 2 billion people live under the poverty line. We know that the world's wealth and resources are not distributed equally. We know that the world has enough resources to really help everyone have their basic human needs met, but the reality is it's greed that results in this all the problems with poverty in different parts of the world. So again, back to the question of evil. Why does God allow evil? Well, if God doesn't allow evil, that means God has to take away our free will as human beings. And probably if we ask people before they come to this world, most of them will prefer their freedom over their being forced to do the right thing. I think most people like their freedom, and we know it from, a lot of people prefer freedom with difficulties over, for example, living in a beautiful and nice prison. You would like to have your freedom. So I think this is a human need, and based on this free will, evil will have to happen. The second explanation I would borrow actually from a spiritual Islamic writer and a big teacher. His name is Nursi. He was a Turkish mystic, and he wrote something that I would like to share with you. So what he said is that all humans, the reality, the essence of a human being, it's like a seed, and this world is the soil where the seeds are planted in order for each seed to show its own reality, its own qualities. So what he says is, if God was to put everyone in heaven from the start, no test in this world, then God would have to put everyone on an equal level in paradise. So if God was to put everyone in paradise from the get-go, God would have to put all of us on the same level. So what Saeed and Nursi is saying is that in reality the essence is different between people. So in that case, Hitler would have to be put at the same level of Mother Teresa, of Jesus Christ, of Moses, of Mohamed, of all the great prophets and great people. Someone like Hitler, someone like all the other criminals that came, would have to be at the exact same level. But the seeds, the human essence, is different, and each one has different qualities, and the only way to show these qualities is to put them in the soil of this world. And the soil is not a beautiful thing, right? It's dirt, it's full of worms, it's full of it's darkness. It has a lot of darkness because you have to be buried in the soil. So again, back to our question, why are we in this world which has all these difficulties? It's because the seeds, human seeds, have to be put there so that each seed shows its real qualities. And now after this world ends, each seed will come out and everyone will be able to witness the reality of the seeds. And that's how we know that the essence of Hitler was so much different from the essence of Jesus Christ, of Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam. So that's another way to look at why we have evil in this world. The last point I want to mention is really this world being a test, and a test is not supposed to be easy, or it wouldn't be a test at all. In the Islamic tradition, there is a hadith of Prophet Muhammad that says God in the day of judgment will take the most miserable person that ever lived. And here we're talking about really the most miserable person. God knows it knows everything from end to end, from the beginning to end. Maybe we can tell who is the one of the miserable people in this life. I mean, in this age, maybe in our circle, but we have no way of knowing the most miserable person in all of human history. So in this hadith, it is narrated that God will take the most miserable person ever, that ever lived, and God will take this person and will admit him into paradise just for a moment, and he will be asked, did you ever witness any difficulty, any hardship in your life? And this person will say, I have never witnessed any difficulty in my life, meaning that once they get into heaven, all the difficulties will be erased. It's as if you're waking up from a bad dream to a really beautiful reality that you have. One of the Islamic scholars, his name is Maulana Faizani, and he mentioned this, that you can compare it to a wealthy man who has everything. Let's say you're a billionaire, and one night you sleep and you have a dream of being this poor person. You're suffering, you don't have maybe food. It's really a bad dream, but then you wake up and you wake up to the reality that you are a billionaire. And this is how people will be in after this test is over. So we have three things here that we can think of when we question why there is evil in the world. First thing is, just to review, it's either free will or a peaceful world with no evil. If we choose free will, then we have to accept the fact that a lot of people will cause harm because of the free will that they have. And not only intentional harm, but we will also make mistakes. And that's really part of our human life. We make mistakes and we learn from it and we try to improve. The second part is, in order for each human essence to show its realities, its real qualities, we have to come through this test. Otherwise, we would have to be all equal. God wants everyone to show the reality, and the only way is to be planted in the soil of this world. Last point is, this is just a test, and a test is not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to have difficulties and problems, but at the end, no matter how much one person suffers, once this test is over successfully, hopefully for all of us, then all the suffering that you had will really amount to nothing. So I hope some of these make sense to you. If you agree, if you disagree, leave me a comment. Let me know if you have other thoughts on that. Of course, again, this is not an easy topic. I know there are deeper levels than this, but this is just one way to look at it and to explain why God allows evil to happen in the world. If you like this video, please share with others. Please click the like button so that the video can reach more people. And thank you for watching.